Hello everyone, welcome to Acer Training Room. My name is NiKo and I'm the captain of CSGO team for FaZe Clan. Today I'm going to be talking about the game sense, why is it so important, and I'm going to give you a few tips how to improve it. In my opinion, game sense is the most important thing in the CS if you want to become one of the best players in the world. Why I think that is because it's not something you can really train. It's not something like you can go on that match and just practice, or it's not something you can just gain it by playing on individual level. As an in-game leader, it obviously has to be someone who is very experienced and who knows how to read the game, to read the opponents. And as I said, it all comes down to adapting. I would say that you can explain games in different ways, which should be map awareness, decision making, adapting, and reacting to the situation which you are in. So now we're going to be going to the computer and we're going to be reviewing one of our demos, and I'm going to try to explain you why we were doing it in a better way. So now I'm going to be explaining a clutch situation I have won against SK on Mirage in the ESL Pro League Dallas in semi-final. I'm going to play the situation now. So first of all, we have faked B with up here, as you can see, carrying and died on B, and meanwhile, while he was doing that, we were boosting in the window here, and I was going behind from this guy, which unfortunately he killed two already, but now I killed him. And now we are 2-on-4, and I heard this guy obviously and I saw him, and now I'm just waiting for my teammate to play. At this point my teammate is dying from the guy from short, so now I knew already that one guy is CT, one guy is outside jungle, one guy is short, and I didn't know about the fourth guy obviously. Now I was in 1v4 situation, and now it was just all me, and so this was basically just individual game sense and how I played it. So now this was the free frag for me because they made a mistake, they flashed themselves, so I got a free frag, and now I was just left in 1v3. So now I have spotted this guy as well, I have baited his shot, and now at this point I knew that there was one guy in jungle and one guy was at the bomb who was trying to defuse. So what I just did here, I just baited a shot on the guy who was trying to defuse the bomb. As you can see now, I basically shot once at the guy there in firebox, so this guy would have pushed here, and then I got a free frag on him. So there we go, now he came, and now I just played the situation like I was just going up and down and trying to bait. I was just trying to get basically one-on-one duel, so I don't have to play it 1-on-2. So yeah, that's how I managed to win this clutch, just by playing, just trying to get 1v1 duel, so I don't have to like go in the crossfire of them. So now I'm gonna run you through the round which we have played on the major. It was probably one of the most intense moments in my life. It was 15-14, we were down 15-14 playing against Mouse in the quarterfinal. So at this point we just like called the canvas standard. At that point I was not the captain, so it was not me calling, but however I was just going to explain the situation why we made this call which we did. So we just started pretty slow because it is like a very intense match. You don't want to rush the things, you just want to take it easy and you want to make the right call, so you make sure you don't make any mistake. I'm gonna move forward a little bit. So in the end we just ended up making a contact play together. So here we lost the first guy, and which is very important is to always have one guy behind your teammate, so you can always refrag the guy in this case. So at this point he went back down, but we still managed to get a refrag on this guy even though it was still in their favor. And at this point now, once you have the site, it is very important to react and use your nades, so you can buy all the time you can just to get in the best position you can in the after-plan situation. As you can see, Rain here, he used the Molotov prevent, so they cannot come out to advance and try to kill him or something like that. Then he smoked off the door. We smoked off this door, and we smoked the door to the right, so we can make sure that we get a safe plant, and we make sure that we, as I said, we get in a good position, which is the most important thing in the after plant situations. So now we were 4-on-2, and I was lurking on the other side, and now I played mostly on the sound which I was hearing, because as you see now I'm above them and I can hear everything what was going on downstairs, and my teammate was just trying to buy as much time as he can. So that's just like adapting to me, because I told him that he should just play like to buy time for me, because I was in really good position. And as you can see, he even killed one guy, which made the situation even easier. And as you can see, as soon as he killed that guy, I had a free frag on the guy who was just watching towards him. So I came down and I killed that guy, and now it was 2-on-2 situation. So now it's kind of already a clutch situation. It was 20 seconds left, or maybe 15. So now you just play the time. You just play on C4, you don't want to rush the things. And that's where you have to be patient, you cannot rush the things. So now my teammate died in the door because this guy pushed him, and I ended up being in 1v2. So now they knew where I was, and I knew where they were. And then once I heard that they pulled the Molotov, they tried to Molotov me in this position. I knew that they would not expect me to rush through it. So what I did, I just rushed to that Molotov. I killed the guy who was throwing it, and then I killed the guy because they knew that I was in vents and they probably expected me to go on the other side of the door. So what I did, I just ran through Molotov and I killed the guy there who was pulling the nades, and then I killed the guy who was trying to defuse, which wasn't ready for me at all. So we managed to go into overtime at that point, and then we managed to win the game after. This moment was special just because it was played on the biggest event we ever had, and it was played in just intense match. And obviously I have never made earlier the playoffs on the major, which is the biggest event, and this was the first time I have made it, and it was the quarterfinal. Then it was me who brought my team into the overtime, and then we have managed to win that match easily. So why I did it, it was risky, but I knew that it could either pay off or I could just lose the round and lose the map. So I just went for it. I just went for a feeling, and as you could already see, I just died right after I killed the guy who was trying to defuse the bomb. So it was all depending on like 1 millisecond. And yeah, it just worked out, and that's kind of risky place where you sometimes have to take if you can afford it, obviously. If not, then you shouldn't do it. So this one happened in the final of the epicenter, which we have won. And at this point we were leading 14-11, but we were losing I think like 5 or 6 rounds in a row. So we decided to make some aggressive play, and then we went for some kind of setup. But mostly I want to just explain you how my team is adapted to the situation which we were like going to do. We have decided to put 2 guys in underground, so we tried to get the info on the middle because we expected them to do the mid control. Unfortunately, they didn't do it, which didn't work out for us. But the point is, like when we are about doing this, like getting information on the middle, like our teammates, which are holding different sides, they have to understand and they have to adapt to us, so they have to fall back from the side. They just have to play for the information. Once they get information, they just fall even more back, and then we try to play the afterplay situation. So at this point, Rain was holding A and they were attacking A. So if he was alone, for example, on the side, just trying to hold the A by himself, he would have probably died, and then we would have lost around 100%. So he just fell back towards the CT, and then he was just trying to get information from there, jumping and just playing by himself, basically. And now we're just playing the afterplay situations, and then at this point, if this ever happens to you guys, if you're holding A side and then you're like around behind the smokes, what you can always do is just like try to react on these smokes, and then you can boost behind the smokes, so you can try to get a free frag in the guy who was coming out A-ups. That's just like good, some of the waypoints we can use if they're doing this strat. So now we have just decided to play for the retake. So whenever your team is trying to hold mid, you should always try to play retake on A side from the CT, so you never die alone on the side, so they don't just get the side for free, which Rain did at this point, and that's why we got the free frag in A-ups, and we were in the upper hand at this point. So now you just basically wait for smokes to fade, and then you complete the retake situation, even though we have lost. So now Kerrigan probably he has called that we just buy time for him because he's flanking from behind. So we are just like checking like behind ourselves. We are just throwing some nades, just baiting for him basically. But the other team, they just like played good and they were waiting for him. So now we are just doing the retake, and now we have to be a bit faster. Obviously, we have no nades. We have just one defuse. So at this point, when Olaf died, like we knew that we had to save because we were like leading 14-11, and we just didn't want to give away the weapons or the round just like that. So what I'm trying to explain is just like how you should adapt to your team. Whenever they're aggressive on the one side, you should always try to be defensive on the other side of the map, and just try to get the info and just to try to buy as much time you can for your team to rotate and help you with flashes, smokes, nades, or whatever. So as I already said, the game sense is it's mainly the instinct you have in yourself. It's the feeling you have, which you should always go for. I hope I helped you a little bit more to understand what the game sense really is by watching the demos together. And if you want to see more videos, check the website Acer training room website, and the link will be in the description below.